Well, the clamp came off easy enough, but the hose is seized on there a little bit. It's not unusual from not being taken off in a long time. Try and give it a twist and see if we can't break it free. Once you usually get it to twist like that, there you go. Once you get it so it can twist like that, then you can usually get a screwdriver in there and pry these off. Okay, I pulled this hose off and quite a bit came out at first and then it stopped dead. So I'm just going to leave the hose in the bucket there and probably dump out that nasty stuff and flush some fresh water through the radiator. Alright, got a garden hose going in there, straight into the radiator. So this is just the water as it's passing straight through the radiator and coming right out the bottom there. So that T. So this really isn't flushing anything through the motor. This is just flushing the radiator. So let that run a little bit until it clears out. Getting kind of close now. Now I've temporarily reconnected this line. It's leaking a little bit, but that's okay. And I'm turned the water back on, and now we'll start flushing some of this other stuff out. Well, that water's already coming out pretty clean. So now I'm going to shut this valve. Alright, now with that valve shut, I'll be able to top off the system and then I'll open it back up again. Okay, I just topped off the system with fresh water, and so now I'm going to restart it and run it to get that water circulating through to get the clean water flushing through there and then drain it again. Alright, I warmed it up by driving it around in fourth gear. Took a good run right around the field, and you can feel the line here is warm to the touch. Not hot, warm. It'll be good enough for my purposes today. So now I'm going to try and pull that line off. I got the radiator cap off. Doesn't build any pressure. This cap really doesn't seal anymore, so I'm not sure if by design if this is supposed to be just a gravity system or should it be building pressure. No, I guess that wouldn't build pressure. Didn't have any though. Anyways, back to what I was talking about here. Yeah. So I'm going to pop this line off. Hopefully the water's not so hot that I burn myself. Let's see. Nah, it's just warm. Of course, that's the water there. As the water comes out of the block, it might be hotter. You see, that definitely did get more stuff out. Nasty water again. Alright, so now it's pretty much done draining, but now I'm going to have to wait, because what I want to do next is I want to fill it up with water again, and my hose, cold water, is going to be 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and if I dump that into the engine while the engine's still hot, the thermal shock stresses could damage something, could end up cracking the block or the head or something that I don't want to break. So I'll just come back a little later. Well, the engine's still hot and it's starting to get dark. I'm not going to have enough time to refill it and flush it again, and then I'm going to run this peak super cleaner and flush through there, and that involves heating the engine back up, running it a little bit, and then flushing it again, and then flushing it with clean water again to get that stuff out of there before you finally put the coolant in. So I'm going to leave it drained because it might get down below freezing overnight, and pick this up tomorrow. Well, time to get back to taking care of this cooling system on the backhoe here. We had snow. It's actually quite a bit of it's melted now, was completely covering the ground, and because of the weather and just other things I had going on, I haven't been able to get back to this thing, but I certainly want to finish this up now. So the way I left it was the cooling system was open and nothing was left in it except for maybe a little residual water, but that small amount freezing wouldn't cause any damage. So you can see I got that gross stuff in there now. So I'm going to dump that out, turn the water back on, make sure it's flushed clean, and then I'm going to fill the system with water and add the flush, and then bring it up to temperature. Well, my hose is frozen. Bummer. Just traveling down the line and working the line, wriggling it, listened to the cracking of the internal ice there, and was able to free it up enough so I can start to get some flow. Not much, but what's going to happen is that water that's in the well is 50 degrees, and that's going to have the effect of thawing out that ice. So more and more chunks of ice are going to start flowing out of that and working their way out of the hose. Guess I don't really want that ice in the cooling system, so let's get this down on the ground, wait until the flow. There's another chunk there coming out. Just wait until it clears itself. There we go. Puking out some pretty good sized chunks now. There we go. I'd say that's clear enough. Alright, that looks pretty clean, so I'm going to reattach that line. Okay, the water was flowing back out the top. Now I'm going to start it, get the water pump moving the coolant around, or the water around, to burp out any air in the system, and then I'll add the flush chemical and top it off with water. I've been throwing the hose in here instead of shutting it off, so that's what this water is sitting in here, but you can also see the ice, just to give you an idea that it is freezing cold out here, or has been freezing cold recently. It's in the 30s right now. I don't know where in the 30s. Anywho, so I'm going to definitely use the starting fluid on this start attempt. Not even going to bother trying to do it without it. Alright, try not to use too much starting fluid, so I throttle up and I just give it a little bit of a spray. Oh! What the hell was that? Uh-oh! Fluid just came out of there. How do you like that? I'll get to that in a second. Let it run a bit. What the hell is that fluid coming from? It actually looks like it came out of a hole in the steering column. Ah, it's a hole right there. The better question would be, why is there fluid in that column? And is that by design? It's supposed to have fluid in there? Power steering's still working. Huh. For all I know, that hole may have been there for a long time and I didn't even realize it. Just happened to catch a glimpse of it squirting fluid out when I first started it. Interesting. You can see this bucket cylinder here is not keeping the cylinder in the raised position. It has some bypass that leaks down over time. Probably shouldn't be keeping the weight on it anyways, but I never remember to lower it down. So I know this was up last time I had this parked here. It's down now. Oops. Guess I should have turned the RPMs up a little more. I'm sure that was just because I had it idling so low on this tired motor. Let's hope it restarts. Better give it some throttle. Battery box and the toolbox and the loader valve, everything on this side kind of makes it so that it's not easy to get on and off the tractor from that side, but that's where the hand throttle is, so go figure. Not bad, not great either. My injector pump's still leaking fuel. What a puff. Hey, does anybody remember what I did with the hose clamp that goes on here? I'd really like to put it on before I bring the thing up to operating temperature with all the chemical in there and have it blow out. Run out all over the place. Huh. Found the clamp. It was on the down in the bulkhead, you know, on that little cement ledge there above the stairs. If you have a set of cement bulkhead steps like I do, that's probably where you find yourself dumping a lot of stuff.